I'm going to be sending a lot of energy to the people that I can see as you're going through this meditation. That's how come I wanted to see them. But if they're not interested in that, I won't send any to them.
I just logged out and logged back in, and I still don't see you. I don't know what's happening. I'm doing the same I've done every time.
Donna, do you know how
Same
to tell
here.
them?
I can't see anybody.
Is there a
I cannot see
problem
anybody's
with
picture.
you?
I
Virginia?
can't see anybody, and I shut down and booted it back up. It didn't work. I'm having the same problem. I don't
Me
see
too.
anybody, and you can't see me.
Donna is having the
Yeah.
same problem, and so is Rosalila and Liliana. Any ideas, Virginia? Does it have anything to do with Donna?
Sometimes
Does it have anything with Donna having the controls last week?
I don't think so.
I mean, because it's not just one person, it's, several,
I know.
probably the ones using phones.
Donna, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
So do you think it has anything to do with you hosting last week?
no, I think it might have to do with you hosting this week.
I think that's what is happening here.
All right, you want me to stop everything and you can do the hosting?
I mean, I think that if you logged off and logged back in, everybody would have to log back in again, but I think that's my only option. I mean, I've tried to reboot my computer and everything, so.
Can you log out, Virginia, and log back in, please?
Well, I think she's saying we all have to log out and log back in.
Right. I am.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't need to see you that much. I mean, if you can't get there, I just want to send you energy. Go ahead, Virginia. Go ahead.
I want energy.
No, I can try to log out just me and see if that makes a difference.
Okay.
I was also wondering if it's maybe the link. Is it the same link of last week? Because
Yes.
It's the same. It's always the same link.
Exactly. the
Donna,
same.
you're logged in twice.
I am.
Yes.
No, not on my screen. I'm not. Okay.
This is
I don't know. I'm going to log off, you guys.
I'm going to log off
You
too.
have two of them. You have two screens.
Yeah.
I'm logging off. Yeah.
I know.
I'm logging off.
I can.
Virginia. Everybody, please. I don't know what that noise is. So everybody needs to be on mute. Barbara Kramer.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
You have two things on. I don't know why you're on two different devices.
Because I was trying to reach you, but I was trying to get on with my phone, and I could see a part of you, but
Okay,
I
you need
didn't
to
see
shut one of them off.
so that's why I was trying to do it that way.
That's creating a lot of noise in the background, so I need you to mute yourself on both. You still have one on.
It's because I'm doing it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right,
So I invite you to find a comfortable position. Excuse me. And just allow your shoulders to relax. And just take a nice deep breath into the belly. And exhale fully and gently. And now allow your eyes to relax. Relax your ears, your jaw and your jaw muscles. And just send calming peace to all of your body. And now I invite you to take 3 deep breaths down into the belly. You might want to put one hand on your belly and one on your heart. Breathing in deeply into the belly 3 times and exhaling with the sigh 3 times at your own pace. And so now I invite you to continue to keep your attention on the breath, just observing the breath coming in and going out. And as we do that, we notice that our attention to other things fades, all other things, as we give the breath our full attention. Noticing the sound of the breath coming in and going out. Notice what parts of the body move as you breathe. You may even be aware of your heartbeat. And as your breath moves in and out in a regular rhythm, I invite you to think about the sound that the water makes at the beach as it comes onto the land and then retreats back again. Just like the breath coming in and going out. Think about gentle ocean waves washing onto the beach and then retreating. Imagine that there is a cool breeze on your face, just as if you were there at the beach, hearing the waves coming in and going out. Perhaps there is an occasional sound of a bird. Or the wind moving through the palm branches of nearby trees. How peaceful it can be to relax and be still, to be present to your surroundings, to be present to the breath within you. Letting other thoughts fade away. And when they return, just let them go. Just like little clouds passing by in the sky. Not trying to push them away nor try to analyze them, just notice and come back to the breath, come back to the waves on the shore. In this stillness, allow yourself to remember that you are not the body. You are not your thoughts or your emotions. You are not the personality. You are infinite life essence. You are an integral part of the allness that is. And so bring your attention into your heart. feeling the love of the infinite for you. Remembering that you are loved completely at all times. And feeling this energy build in your heart, this all-encompassing love. Allow it to expand outward to your loved ones. The people and the pets who love us deeply. Extend that love to everyone that you know. Extend it out now, allowing it to expand, to continue to expand. See this vibration of love going from your heart out to all the world. Enveloping our planet and all life on our planet. You are able to do this because you are infinite love. There are no limits to your loving kindness. And now imagine that there's this beautiful light around our planet. And see it extending out into the universe. Notice how you feel as you hold that intention. And now take a deep breath. Again, being aware of your body. Bringing your attention back to the room. And to your own heart. And as we prepare to open our eyes, perhaps you would like to affirm for yourself, today, I will show the world infinite, all-encompassing love. And so it is. Amen. When you're ready, please open your eyes.
Alrighty then. Since I can only see half of you, I'm just assuming that your eyes are open. I'm not sure why we cannot have the imagery. Do you have the camera locked over there on your side, Virginia?
Locked?
In other words, is the camera on your controls on?
I can only control my own camera, and it's on.
Okay.
I can't control other people's camera. That's why I said go into your computer settings, because sometimes I have found that my camera is turned off in computer settings and not in GoToMeeting. So if you're
Okay.
not on screen, you might try going to your computer settings for display and click turn on your webcam or computer
We
camera.
know that because even Donna is having problems.
I know, and she knows how to
That's what
work
I'm
these
saying.
things.
Right. So it has to do with something we did last week.
Do
Anyhow,
you want me to stop my webcam? I mean, I can do that.
no, because then it's going to take us all out.
No, it won't. It'll just be mine. I mean, I can log off if you want me to.
Can you? No, I don't need you to log off. I'm not sure why this is happening. Annabelle, can you, is there a reason why your computer is working?
Yes. I have my camera off on purpose. I'm at the doctor.
Oh.
I wrote a little note on the chat. Sorry, Angie, but I want to be here at least to hear you.
Okay, thank you. I see. Okay. right.
Matt, this is Miss Leela. I went onto my phone and it's still the same problem.
I'm sorry, you have a lot of echo, so we're gonna mute you. Okay, in the meantime, okay, Lisa, you are logged in twice, that's why you're having an echo. You're gonna need to log off of one of your places that you're logged on.
I know, because I went on the phone, but the same problem is on the phone, so it's not a problem.
It's
With
not
the
a problem
device.
with you guys, it's a problem on that, on
Yes,
this side.
yes,
I know
yes.
that.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
We're gonna go ahead and start because we're already at half an hour. Thank you for the meditation, Virginia. Very nice. I will still ask the question that I always ask, and this time I'm going to ask for what is it that makes you peaceful? You're in the midst of a lot of crisis. What is one of the things that can bring you back almost instantaneously? I really wanted to, if you really wanted to come to make yourself balance really fast, what would you do? I'm gonna start with you, Virginia.
I think she went off.
I'm on.
Oh.
I center myself in my higher self. I bring my
How do you do
attention.
that? How?
When I realize that I am in a personality imbalance, I just go, okay, this is not who I am. I'm coming back. I'm so used to centering there in meditation that I just go like that.
So if I was to ask you, you go in meditation and go like that, how do you do that?
I go into meditation with the intention of aligning with my higher self and
Thank
with the
you. I'm trying
allness.
to, okay. The key word here that I wanted you to use was intention. Sarah, can you mute yourself, Virginia? Thank you.
I think one of the things that works fastest for me is going out in nature and walking in nature. It helps to ground me.
Okay. Thank you. Annabelle?
I do deep breathing where I do count of 4 inhale and count of 8. And at the same time, I draw an image of my father, who was a very peaceful person and very wise person. So he helps calm me.
Okay. Thank you. Penny?
Recently, it's been, since I've been having trouble focusing, centering, and so forth, recently it's been listening to particular kinds of music, especially very nice piano music, very soft piano music. That has been really helping me lately. I've gone through different phases, I think. Nature also helps me, but right now it's listening
Okay.
to. Yeah.
Thank you. Jerry.
I use walking in nature, observing nature, appreciating nature.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I can get somebody to, you're in the midst of something, you have to go and present yourself somewhere. What can immediately bring you back into alignment? By the time you go and start walking in nature or doing different things, it's gonna take some time to get you there. What is the 1, 2, 3 expression of, okay, I'm centered? What brings you into centered and peace the fastest? I'm going to jump to else. I'm sorry?
I choose to think love, unconditional love.
Okay.
Whatever the question, that's the answer.
Right, and how do you get there?
It comes to mind.
So to you it comes to mind?
It's part of consciousness.
Okay. Elsa. I cannot hear her. Do you have your volume on? I'm not sure why we cannot hear you. Do me a favor. I'm gonna go to the next person. Can you type your answer on the chat box, on the chat balloon? Not sure why you cannot hear me. We cannot hear you. Is the connection okay? In your microphone was on. No. Okay. Right now you're on mute. Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask you to type your answer on your chat box because we cannot hear you at all. Is there, Donna, do you have any idea?
No, I think she's probably just having her own internet issues, maybe.
Okay. But it's the first time I see somebody being unmuted and unable to talk. Because she was unmuted. Okay, let's see.
This other issue that's going on. I don't know.
Elsa, I think of the uniqueness of each situation. Very good. Thank you, Elsa. She said, I think of the uniqueness of each situation and goes from there. Sam.
If I'm in the house and I'm really like a chaotic, frenzied, out of, agitated or whatever, I'll walk to the bathroom and I'll turn on the cold water, put it on my wrists and do 4, 7, 8 breathing. If it's something where I have time, I'll go outside into nature. But my most favorite is if I have time to get to some water outdoors. Yeah.
Right. That reminds me, because I was just recommending that to Martha. If we can put Martha on your prayers, Martha Skinner, she's been having problems. So she couldn't be here right now, but she's gonna try to join us later. But she's not sure whether she will. Sherry.
Well, during all this mayhem, I've been finding myself holding my wrists alternately, so that definitely helps me be peaceful. This is the truth. When I get in a tizzy, I start toning. I just start toning. It doesn't have to be in line. I don't have to do the mudras. I just tone, and that brings me back to level.
Right.
Works for me.
It works for me too. Thank you. Liliana. Lisa?
Breathing.
Okay.
Breath,
So,
breathing.
is that what Liliana said?
Yes, we both said the same.
And how do you breathe?
I breathe in through my nostrils. First, I try and center myself and be in a calm, quiet place, and breathe in for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8.
So the same one? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Donna?
The way I do it is different.
Okay, how do you do it?
When I start breathing, I start relaxing the whole body and see if there's any tension and resistance and focus in on letting go of that.
Okay, thank you. Donna?
I focus on love.
Okay.
So if something is upsetting me, like today with this computer, to get myself so that I could concentrate on the meditation, I just kept love, just sending out love. That works for me.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Barbara Kramer?
There we go. Well, when I'm the most relaxed and peaceful, really, is when I'm walking outside. But if it's something that I can't be doing that right then, when that comes up, I take some deep breaths and relax my shoulders and other places on my body that I know tend to tense up. And that's what I do.
Okay. Thank you. What I do is I usually grab my wrists or I tap on my chest to cover the K27 points to bring my parasympathetic nerve system to back in. It's kind of like a restart button when you hit those points in your chest. That's when you're tapping your chest and at the K27 points. The people that have been with me know where that is. The people that haven't is you go one, see that indentation in your neck here? Go 1 inch to the side and 1 inch down. And that is your K27. When you start that right there, when you start doing that, you start you bring yourself back into your parasympathetic system, and you reset your body. Okay. It's important that we know how to reset our bodies. Last week we were talking about that we cannot intend or we cannot go to the future holding on to the biology of our past. Do we remember that? So one of the reasons we cannot co-create in the future, we can intend in the present. but we cannot create. We can create from the past, but we will be creating the same thing over and over and over. This is called being stuck, and people don't realize why they're stuck. They're stuck in a certain place because they are not willing to move up from the past, or they don't know how to. Okay, the only way you can move from your past is to let go of your present personality. So, Sherry, can you tell me why?
Well, my personality is the result of me acting in the third dimension thinking.
Is also coming from the past?
Yeah, that to me is all third dimensional because I wasn't aware of the fifth dimension until past year. So,
Right.
yeah, that old stuff doesn't work.
It will work, but it will keep you stuck.
Well, what's the point?
Okay. Virginia, you want to add anything to that?
Can't think of anything to add to that. Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to, well, let me rephrase the question for you. If you were to change, what would you do? What would you do different?
Like, for example, if I notice repeated negative patterns in my life and I would like to change,
Yes.
well, first recognizing that they're there.
And they will be there because you're thinking in the past.
Right. And
They
then
wouldn't be there otherwise.
and then give it to the robot, whatever is creating this repeated pattern. I give it to the robot on every level, known or unknown in my consciousness. I release it to the robot and I create a new pattern of fill in the blank.
Okay, so would that entail you to make a new habit?
Yes.
So
Hopefully.
if you, okay, so
Well,
how
maybe
would you
you need to
start a
make
new?
an intention to do that too.
Right, so I'm going back, you were not in our class last week.
I didn't get to listen to all of it. I listened to most of it.
Right, but now I'm gonna go into the actual, so Lisa. Not
Yes,
Lisa,
dear.
no, I'm sorry, no, you
No,
won't
not
remember.
Rosalila? Okay.
No, Dana. If you wanted
Yes.
to create if you needed to create a new future, what would you do?
I'm sorry, Angie, you were cutting in and out.
If you wanted to create a new future rather than be stuck on the past, what would you do?
I have to stay in the present moment.
Right, that's one of the things,
and-
yes.
Yes.
And what else? This is the class from last week.
Yeah. I don't know what else. I would stay, if I'm just doing this on my own, I would stay in the present moment, because the present moment is what's going to create my future.
Okay, let me ask you, what creates a belief? Barbara?
I'm sorry, Angie, you know what? I'm gonna leave because this is not helping me. This in and out, cutting in and out. So
okay,
I hope you guys have a good meeting.
You just want to listen?
Namaste.
No, I'm asking, do you just want to listen?
It's not helping.
If
Sorry.
Listening does not help?
You're cutting in and out. You're cutting in and out.
No, I'm asking you if you just listen.
Angie, she can't listen because you're cutting in and out.
I can't hear you.
She
she can't hear you because it cuts in and out. Her connection is bad, listening or talking.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
Have a good meeting.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Bye, Donna. Okay. So, what I wanted you to know is that, yes, you can be in the present moment, but in order for you to have a different future, you're going to have to create new habits. So the question here is, how do you create new habits according to your past classes? A habit is created by, what is a habit? A habit is a repeated thought. That's all it is. Okay, so a repeated thought in your mind, when it plays repeatedly, becomes a cellular memory. Are we on the same page? Okay, since we're on the same page, so what happens next? If I want a specific direction on how to create a different future, what should I do different?
You become an observer, and you also practice what your thoughts are creating, because they do create behavior and cellular memory and emotions and feelings. So you have a choice. If you want to be in the future, what is that vision of you in the future, and how do you change from your past cellular memory? Is that right?
That's correct. Okay, so we were talking about reliving what you want to manifest or to create. Reliving it in such a way that you bring the emotion, which is energy in motion. Once you start that energy fluctuating at a certain vibratorial level, what do I mean by that? That it is a consistent vibratory level. It's like you know that there is something is already being created, okay? You know it, it's already there. All you have to do is go get it. This is the promise of the fifth dimension. So how do you do that? I mean, do you, most people are in doubt, but if you know you have a drink in your refrigerator, you have cold water or cold tea or something, you do not expect and wonder if the tea is going to be there. If you're going to have to go and make the tea, you know it's already in there. You already put it there. You do not look for it. You already know that it is already done. The fifth dimension works with it's already done. And the premise of that has a lot to do with how you approach your creation. Your creation cannot be approached, but you have to do it. That is the old system that is very 3D, and that is by labor. You know, it's not by might, it's not by knowing, it's not, I mean, it's not by might or knowing, but it is by my spirit. This is the promise of the Bible, which is telling you third dimension is labor. Fourth dimension is knowing, which is the law of attraction. And fifth dimension is by my spirit. It is already there. So the idea that everything is already done in this fifth level is already done. You cannot go and expect, I mean, you do not, every morning you get up and you know there's going to be a sun, whether it's cloudy or not or raining, you know there's a sun there. You don't wonder if that, if the sun is going to show up or not. Again, it's things that you know that they're already done. So how do you get out of doubt? Let me go to Penny.
Okay.
How do you get out of doubt?
How do I get out of doubt? Oh, about being already done?
Right.
It's hard for me.
Okay, what would you do?
I guess I would have to basically repeat what Reverend Virginia said and release any negative thoughts to the robot, center myself and release to the robot any of these doubtful thoughts that are doubting that it's already done.
Yeah, what you would do is create your new reality, knowing that it is easy, that it is already done, that it is already there. It's not getting rid of things at this point. Is knowing that it's already done. So how do I know that? I know that because what will I have to practice for that? I will have to practice that I am omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipowerful. And how do I know these things? I am not the body, the spirit within this body. It is the creative force behind my life, what is considered this body's life. But I myself, I have to disassociate with the idea that I am this body. Number one. Number two, I have to affirm and start living or imagining what it would be like to be omniscient and omnipresent. Remember faith. Faith is the evidence of things unseen. If I say, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move. And it doesn't say that you have to go move the mountain. It says, and it will be done for you. Who do you think is going to go do it? It's spirit. You get your hands off the spirit. Even Jesus used to say, it's not I who does the works. It is the spirit within me who does the works. You get your hands off. That's how come they say, let go and let God. Okay. So, can you give me an example, Liliana, of what I'm talking about?
Well, an example for me would be creating that reality as an image, that as if it had already happened, and putting emotions to it.
Yes, that's part of it. But before you can do any of this, before any of this can happen, do you remember last week's class when I said you have to be present? So you cannot do any planning or anything before you get centered, before you have before you're in coherence. And in order for you to be in coherence, your chakras have to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
For the chakras to be balanced, you can either tone, or you can go chakra by chakra, or just intone. Does anybody know which one is the tone for an immediate to bring the body back in alignment? And that was from classes before.
I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Okay. Right. That's a very, it's a very a regular toning. So and then you have to do followed by an E. And that will bring your chakras all in balance and help you. Once you finish the followed by the E will bring you into present moment in the body. Not just present moment in your mind or in your head, but present moment in the body also.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. So, just to give you an example of what I told you last week, decide what your thoughts, which thoughts you can bring into the future. Write them down. Thoughts like I can't, it's too hard, or it will never work, or I will never change, or I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start later on today. All those are thoughts that will be not in the present. So, people that said, what's wrong with me, or it's too hard, I can't do that, it's too hard, or I have to do this and that and the other, and it's not easy, and that's not in truth, number one. And the worst one of all these excuses is it's not my fault. It's not my fault is the worst of the excuses, because the moment that you say that, you have lost all your power over the situation or the event or whatever is happening. The moment that you shift the responsibility, you lost your power. Decide on what behaviors or actions, whether they're conscious or unconscious habits, that you have to change. In other words, do you complain? Do you blame? Do you make excuses? Do you feel sorry for yourself? So as long as you just become conscious, if you do any of these things, you will start to pay attention to how your mind thinks, because we're so unconscious that we don't even know how we produce our thoughts. So become conscious of these behaviors, and then you will not go unconscious. And lastly, you have to decide what emotions no longer belong to you in your future. That means if you want to be wealthy, you cannot take lack with you. If you want to be healthy, you cannot take insecurity and fears with you. You can begin to condition your body to a new personality. Like I said before, you cannot go to the future with the same personality. You have to change personas. The same persona that you have right now will produce the same result that you have right now. Is that okay, Cherry? You look a little, okay.
I have a question.
Yes, Elsa?
What about being humble at the same time?
Being humble?
Yes.
Is that a true humility, or a one that is going to put you in a minus point?
Exactly.
If you come in humility, knowing your strengths,
right,
and knowing that we all have the same things, and not that you're in a special position, then that's true humility. True humility is accepting all your strengths.
Right.
Okay, and
So,
if you mean that, yes, then I would have to say yes, an absolute yes.
Okay. And that also being kind to the others in order to lift?
The other one links to the others, but not in a minus. That's in a plus.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That's an emotion that you don't want to avoid. That's an emotion that you want to take with you.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So I keep on repeating this. The personalities thing. What's the personalities expression? Is I want, I think, I feel. I want, I think, I feel. Every time you say these things, recognize that that is your persona. I want, I think, I feel. the moment that you change any one of these things, you are on your way to doing something else, because otherwise you will be repeating. A repetition, it's a reaction, not an action. You're not called an actualized being until you let go of all the reactionary emotions that you respond to life with. When you change any one of these three things, you are able to change your future. You don't have to change the whole thing if you don't want to. It's a beginning to change your habit.
Excuse me, Angie, you're coming through muffled.
Am I coming through muffled to everybody? Okay, I don't know what is going on. It seems like we're having technical problems today. I'm not sure why. Because I am doing the same thing I always do. I'm staying right where I'm always staying, and I'm not sure why. Am I still coming muffled?
I hear you fine. You're not muffled for me.
Hi, Jerry.
When you turn your head and talk, then it's all muffled. I don't know. To your left, when you go left, I can't hear you.
Okay. All right. Let me move my computer a little bit. Okay.
I think it's because you also lean back at the same time.
Okay. It's possible. Thank you. So Liliana, aside from the muffledness, did you have a question?
No, so far I'm following you with the personality.
Okay. So what if you woke up in the morning and instead of your usual routine, what if you said to yourself, what is the greatest expression of myself that I can present to the world today? What if you said, I'm not going to be guilty anymore for anything, and not running out of guilt? I have to go see my parents. I have to go see my children. I have to go see the cat, the dog, whoever. I have to work, and I have to. These are the people that are running on guilt mostly. So what if you said, I'm done with this? I'm done playing the guilty party. I'm done being so the always running part, like a dog chasing his own tail, getting nowhere fast. But that is only somebody being stuck. It's not somebody just chasing their tail. That is the effects of somebody being stuck. They don't know how to get out of that rat race.
Can I ask a question?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Liliana?
Can I ask a question regarding the guilt?
Yes.
Is the moment that you give in to the guilt a form of activating programs?
The moment that you get into the guilt, can you finish that sentence for me again?
Well, it seems like if you give room to the guilt, it's like activating that conditioning that comes through of all those programs. And the moment you drop them, it's as if it seems like as if you're cutting off those programs, and therefore they're not getting activated.
If you are conscious enough to wake up and say, I will not be running on guilt today, and mean what you're saying, and actually proceed in that sense, and watch your actions. Are your actions being presented because you have to and you out of obligation, or is it out of things that you have to do because people are expecting you to. And a lot of this has to do with family. People are, you know, um, the expectations that your family has of you, the expectations that you have of yourself according to what you need to do for your family, uh, expectations at work, expectations anywhere. And when you don't do these things, then you are running on guilt, because then you have to put everything on the side trying to accommodate all these other things that you feel that you have to do, that you somehow made it a priority to become your responsibility. So, Liliana, when that happens, it's very hard to break the cycle. So what you need to do is say, okay, what am I doing? And especially when it comes to your family, whether it's your daughters or your whoever in your family, or the people that you feel that you are obligated for some reason to do something for them. That's when you need to be very careful when you do that. You got that?
Yeah, I guess that's the main thing. In order to change the personality, has to be looked at.
Right. So the thing is, I mean, like I said, I gave the questions, what if you wake up that way? I mean, you have to make it a point to wake up that way, and a point to say, what is the greatest expression of myself that I can present? Never mind to the world, to myself today. I said to the world, but I mean, let's change it to yourself, because you do not owe anything to the world. It's to you, to being true to you. What is your true essence? What is your true, that doesn't mean that you're not good. That doesn't mean that you are not enough. That doesn't mean that you don't care. Only that in all things, you have to come first. Because if anyone comes before you, you're not respecting the order of things. That's when what is called in the Bible, doing the praying to the wrong image, creating images before you. There shall be no gods before me means there shall be no gods before you. That nobody comes before you. And the reason for that is because if you have 100% capacity and you give that to yourself, you have all that much to give to everybody else that you are now struggling with. Okay. You can say, I'm no longer, going to play the unworthy part. I'm done with all that. Those are emotions and behaviors and thoughts that are connected to the old self. The old self, the past that you don't want to engage in your future endeavors and your future creations. If you wake up in the morning and said, who do I want to be when I open my eyes? What if you had a clean slate? Which you do. Every morning when you wake up, you have a clean slate. But if you need to stop there and bring your whole history behind you, and then you sit there, what do I have to do today? And the moment that you say those words, the moment that you have engaged the past, and you're already caught in the past. What thoughts do I want to think? What thoughts do I want to commit to my cellular memory? What thoughts do I want to repeat over and over and over to make that my new creation? Or do I want to bring my past? Okay, how do I start my day fresh without having to bring my past forward? I have got to change my routine as to how I wake up. So what thoughts do I want to commit to my cellular memory? What thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain and in my neurons? Let me plan my behaviors today. I am going to leave my sadness and my pain behind, and I'm going to open my heart, and I'm going to feel gratitude, and I'm going to feel joy, and I'm going to feel inspiration. Your job is to maintain that modified state of mind and body the entire day. And if you are able to maintain that modified state of mind and body every single day, then get ready, because your life is going to start being a life of miracles. How does one maintain an abundant mind? How does one maintain an abundance in the body? What do we do to make ourselves healthy? Is to let go of the fears, the insecurities, the lack. What we are taught for so many years, most of our lives, that we need to engage, we need to suffer, we need to struggle, we need to fight. Everything comes at that you have to really struggle to live in this life. And that's not the truth. That's the old paradigm. And that was part of three-dimensional living. It's not by might, it's not by power, but by my spirit. Third dimension, fourth dimension, and fifth dimension, right there. It's not by might, which is the labor. It's not by power, which is the knowledge. Knowledge is power. You hear that's being said. But by my spirit. The spirit is the one that does the works. You get out of the way, you get your mind out of the way. It does not need to be engaged. It does not need your help. And it doesn't need you to play Holy Ghost Jr. So whatever it is that you want to release to your future.
I like that. Holy Ghost Jr. That's so good.
Okay. So we need to realign our brain and our body out of the past and put it into the future. Yes, Cherry.
Okay, so what thoughts do I want to intend for the day to create new cellular memory? And where I get confused is personality is I want, think, or feel. So am I using my personality when what thoughts do I want to intend for the day?
You will always have some personality as long as you are in this physical world.
Okay.
Okay, so but you are going to create consciously rather than unconsciously. Getting you out of, if you're stuck in a place and you want to go forward, this is the way to go forward, and you're intending your future life. But you have to do it from the present moment, not from looking at the future. That's how come you have to be centered first.
So that is a change of personality when I say, what thoughts do I want to create or to intend for this day to create cellular memory? It's
right.
Using my new personality as opposed. Got
right.
it.
You got it? Okay. Okay. But if you get up every single day feeling the same way, and you wake up and you go, oh my God, who's that? What am I doing today? What do I have to do today? I have to prioritize things. I have to. Let that not be the first thing you think about. Make it a point that you are going to think about what you would like to intend rather than what you need to do. Okay? So, because all the other one is going to put you into your old self. So the act of planning your behaviors, the research, the research shows that as you begin to plan what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, you begin to change your brain to look like the event has already occurred, because your brain does not know the difference between what you're thinking and what is actually happening. The moment that you relive a memory, you open up the old wounds of the past. So either you live with the consciousness of the future or the memories of the past. So when you begin to change your brain and to look like the event has already occurred, you begin to prime your brain into the future and out of the past. And if you can create the emotions, you are more prone to get your behaviors to match your intentions. Then your actions will be equal to your thoughts, and your mind and body working together then will begin to arrive at a new destiny. Now, this is not something that I'm just babbling off. This has been tested by several institutes. You have the Heart Math Institute. You have the several other places that also work with several doctors, including what's his name? Aaron Doherty and Joe Dispenza, and there's many different writers and people that have already put this, what I'm telling you now, it has already been confirmed scientifically. This is not just something that is theoretical. This is applied science. So it has been tested over and over, and it has been established that it works. What is the simple definition of quantum? Remember at quantum classes? Quantum physics says that your mind and matter are so intimately connected that it is impossible to separate the two. Matter has a mind and mind has the matter. And you can't pull them apart. You cannot pull them apart. So in quantum physics, it's amazing because when they start studying the very tiny particles and atoms like electrons and photons, they expected that these particles will behave like planets in a kind of like a rotating around, like around the sun, predicting like a predictable pattern of just running around the sun. But the truth was that they did not behave the way they were expected. They were expecting them to behave. They respond to the mind, not to the. They don't have an actual behavior. We, as humans, we put the behavior, we put our focus in them, and according to what our focus is according to how they behave. All of a sudden, the quantum physicist comes along to measure the electron, and the electron goes from a wave of possibility, and all the energy collapses into a particle. Remember, waves are energy that has not been designated as something that is going to be formed. in a form part. A particle is something that is going to be coming in, that is going to be physical. That's the particle. That's the difference between a wave and a particle. And also the difference between the brain, I mean, not the brain, the atom and photon energy. The only difference is that the atom has the electron, the proton, and the neutron. The photon energies have no electrons. Okay, so when I say that we are getting bombarded by a photon belt, this is what I mean. Photon belts is energy minus the electron. So it affects your energy field differently than it does when it's just atoms. So what I said before about the physicist now comes in and looks at the experiment, and instead of the energy behaving like a planetary system, it behaves like according to what the scientist wants it to behave like, and that is called collapsing the wave function, collapsing the energy from the unmanifested to the manifested reality. And then let's say that so they went from wave to particle. So then the scientists turned their back on the experiment and no longer look and observe the electron, and it turns back to energy. So it turns back to a wave. It has to have the continual observation of the human. So when you are creating, remember, that's how come they say that observe, to focus your energy into something. The more you focus your energy, the more you bring the unmanifested to the manifested realm. We're talking quantum physics here. So everything that you know as far as what works, the strongest force is always the intention, because without an intention, you will not have a point of focus. So you will be focusing on what your mind throws at you. So instead of that, I'm asking you to become more conscious of what it is you're thinking. So by observing, and you are the observer and you are the mind, make that count for you. Help yourself know what it is you're creating. So if you do get up every day and like you have been for the past 10 years, you are creating a predictable world. You know, we ourselves don't like change that much as we say we do, because we're not as comfortable with change as we think we are. You know, what if, the unknown, the so-called unknown, and there's nothing wrong with the unknown, only that we're not comfortable with it. And when you're on 5D, you have to remember that everything is change here, but that you are in control, that you are in the seat of your actual control. You're controlling not by default, but you're controlling by intention. And intention is your driving force. There's nothing stronger, including meditation. There's nothing stronger than intention, because your intention has your focus. If you're viewing your life from the same level of mind every single day, and then you're collapsing the same possibilities into the same reality. If you teach people to find the present moment in quantum physics, all possibilities exist in the quantum physics, all possibilities. Not only all possibilities, but you also have all timelines and all parallel worlds and all dimensions. So that's why they call the present moment indescribable, because when you are there consciously, you have the you should be able to play with it. You should be able to create and make you a master creator. But it requires training and it requires practicing to find the present moment and staying there. Everything is a behavior, including knowing how to, or training yourself to remain present. Okay, now I'm going to talk about something different, so pay attention. This is something new to all of you. The other ones you have heard before, but this is new information. Most people don't know this, but there is an invisible field of energy around your body. And I'm not talking your aura, okay? And when you react to someone or something, you draw from this invisible field and you turn it into chemistry. This field that is around your body shrinks, and now you are more matter than and less energy. Then so you are more particle and less wave. So what that means to you is that you now have if you feel at times that your energy just somebody unplugged you, you just shrunk your energy, and you did that. Nobody did it for you. Your field of energy got shrunken by your interaction with it. The more that you interacted with a field of resistance, and that the resistance may be somebody you're having issues with, or somebody who wants to fight you, or somebody who insists that you do things in a specific way, you know, your energy shrinks. Your full energies, your life force, your chi energy, the energy fluctuating outside your body shrinks. Okay, nobody talks about this, and I don't know why. But the truth is that if you don't want to be drained, and when people that you call energy vampires, this is the field that they draw from. Okay, so but you yourself are able to deplete your own field because you are in resisting mode, and what you resist persists because you are keeping it right there. By resistance, every time you resist something, it persists because you are putting your attention on what you're resisting. Lisa, are you okay there?
Thank you. Yes, I'm loving it.
Okay, I'm gonna stop here and open up the floor. I drew a lot of information that some of it is older, some of it is new. I want to know your thoughts on this. But yes, Sam.
So if I come in contact with someone that is like a negative energy vampire or angry or whatever, and my energy feels this drain and this loss, right?
Right.
How am I resisting?
In other words, remember, I mean, if somebody's coming at you and you're in a very nice and peaceful, and you know, your nice and peaceful self, and somebody comes and it has irritating energy, is that what you're asking? What do you do to keep yours?
Well, you can feel the difference, right? What can I do to keep mine? But is that how would I be resisting?
You will be resisting by not wanting to, by trying to keep your calmness, and by going, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any of this. It's like what you resist persists. I don't want to watch the news. I do not want to do this. I do not want to see, you know, my boyfriend. I don't want to see my significant other. I don't want to see the clerk down the street. I don't want to see my mother. I don't want to see whoever that you have, that you feel that you owe them something, or you haven't been there enough time, or you haven't, you know, whatever guilts you is what makes you feel guilty, is what you're resisting.
Okay.
So,
but if it,
well, remember one thing, this whole semester has to do with guilt, our attraction to guilt. And our attraction to guilt is what keeps us where we're at. Okay, so let's say that somebody comes angry and totally disgruntled at you and starts throwing a fit. And can you, Sam, remain and let that person be whatever it is that is being, in all its glory, being throwing a tantrum and being irritated or trying to goad you into something? Can you remain? No, can you remain at ease? Because you recognize that it is not your problem. That has nothing to do with you. Nothing.
Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't.
Well, you could if you wanted to. If you made it a point,
Okay.
you know, but if you, remember last class when I said you do not, they're throwing you a hook, do not respond. Your response is non-responsive. In other words, you do not engage in you do not go for the hook. You let it go, and you just let that emotion flow through you, through your body, and let it out. You do not retain the emotion, nor do you suppress it. You just let it go through your body. Face it, embrace it, erase it. Fear.
You know what I worry about? I worry about if someone comes and throws all their negative stuff on me, that it's affecting my energy field, immune system, etc., because it's being thrown at me. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, they cannot throw something at you without your authorization. I mean, they can throw energy, but you do not have to absorb it if you realize that you don't have to take it. If you realize that it is their problem, and if you realize that it has nothing to do with you. They're using you as a point of projection. So when you see that, you said, oh, this has nothing to do with it. This anger has nothing, and especially if it's anger. This anger has absolutely nothing to do with me. Nothing. and let them be whatever it is they want to express and do. That's called acceptance. And if you're able to accept them where they're at, you will be able to accept you. But the moment that you start resisting because you don't accept their behavior, that's where your resistance comes from. You're non-accepting of their behavior. So if it washes through you and it goes through you, let it go through you so it does not become a cellular memory.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, because yesterday I had a lot of different stressors going on, and someone was deliberately all day long, till, you know, and I was like, breathe away, you know, until finally I was like so exhausted. I took the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could not have been exhausted had you not taken the hook. It will not have, they will not have had the.
So I took the hook.
Remember that certain people will egg you on for you to, because that's the energy that they feed off of. They feed off of not the anger, but the adrenaline of having that interaction.
Yeah.
Okay, so do not let them feed off of you.
Okay, and if I don't, I'm not, like, my body isn't getting harmed by that garbage that's around me?
No, because you know that it's not you. Just
okay.
Tell yourself over and over, as long as they're screaming or carrying on, this has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
You know. But accept them where they're at, whatever that may be. That's the hard part for you, because that's a big lesson.
Yeah.
It's called acceptance of others. It's called also kindness, and it's also called compassion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because if you start engaging in anger towards somebody or in whatever, neither one of you is healing.
Yeah. And I was upset with myself that it finally happened, you know, because I was doing okay with it. Then at the last minute, it was just like, boom, my head snapped and I was right there in it. And I'm like, you know, afterwards I walked away, deep breathing and saying, why did you know better, but I was in it. You know, so.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
you. Penny?
Angie, I think, Sam, I relate to you 100%. But I guess what you're saying, Angie, we just need to keep practicing, because we're going to continue to have these. We're going to continue to take these hooks because we're still in the third dimension. And
we are so entrained on the third dimension of with a minor factor that we're always having to, and the reason we defend ourselves so much is because we're taught that we're always under attack, and that our ego feels that it needs to defend you. That is, that is there to defend you, and it is not. It's not a barking chihuahua there, okay? You need to have the Holy Spirit come and see and come out of love. Remember that it is a call for love. That's all it is when somebody's egging you on. It's a call for love.
Even if it's just anger expressed in my presence, that makes me very.
It is a call for love.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
It doesn't even have to be about me. It can be about something or somebody else. But I still get.
It doesn't matter with who.
Yeah.
But somebody's expressing anger to you, or fear, or whatever, or an expression that you feel like you have to protect yourself from. Realize that there's nothing that can harm you. Number one, you're a spirit. You're the spirit of love, and you can protect that body, and the Holy Spirit is protecting that body, not you, not your mind. And I don't care what you do, it's not you protecting that body, it's the Holy Spirit.
Well, what if somebody actually comes at you with a knife or a gun? I mean, I guess that would be my other question. That's an intentional happened lately, so I'm not saying that's happened to me, but I'm just saying from past experiences, if somebody came at me to attack me, how would I not be feeling very threatened physically and
I
not?
don't think that you will be attracting that at this stage.
Oh, not now. No, I guess I'm.
No, I don't know what you did in the past, but I know that you will not be attracting that now.
Okay.
But remember one thing, that people are not really out to get you. People are reacting. They are reacting out of fear. It is our as light workers that we are asked to come out with compassion. The compassion is the acceptance of the other person without, you're not accepting the behavior, so to speak, as you are allowing them to be whatever it is that they are, but with the understanding that you come first again, that your truth is your truth and their truth is theirs. The second truth is called, truth depends on the eye of the beholder what the truth is, and we all have our own truths. And all of them are 100% correct to each one of us, whether we like it or not. Somebody else's truth does not meet our approval, then it is our problem. And if somebody else does not like your truth, it's their problem, not yours.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Lisa? Not Lisa, no. Liliana.
I'll pass.
You'll pass, okay. Anyone else? There is no questions, right? Yes, Sarah.
So my question is it ever about you? I mean, it's never about you?
No, because it's coming from an it's outsourced. In other words, it's out of you. It's not you going within, it's you looking outwardly. And what comes out here is only a projection, so of what's going on internally. So what you need to do is look within you to find out, number one, can you accept who you are? And if you can accept who you are, you will not have anybody coming at you, egging you on. But it also has a lot to do with acceptance. I mean, as you grow into the fifth dimension that demands that you are coming from a spirit of love, not from a spirit of, okay, he hurts me and she hurted me and now I don't know what to do and I'm in conflict, and nobody puts you in conflict, but we learned last week that the only one you have issues with is you. And that was part of last week's class. So when somebody starts attacking you or aggravating you or giving you a hard time, it has nothing to do with you. But what I would look at is, why are you attracting people that are projecting that way? Maybe it's something within you that you don't accept in yourself. Because if you accept it in you, it wouldn't be a problem that they are expressing that to you.
I have a question, Angie.
Who's talking? Oh, hi, Elsa.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry, I just log off and then the camera may come up. Um, I have a question about the chi energy that you talked about and how to stop the energy vampires. That's kind of intriguing for me.
Okay, that's a different question altogether. I'm not talking because vampirism is done 90% of the time is done consciously, 10% is done unconsciously. And 10% we allow because let's say we have a significant other and we exchange energy back and forth with the significant other. And so that's a form of give and take within that type of a relationship, also best friends or mother-daughter or mother-son, or we freely exchange energy like that. But then you have the people that come and really just want to feed off of you. And they will feed off of you if you by starting something and by egging you on so they can feed off of the negative energy. So that's what I said last week, that we do not engage. If somebody's trying to get you to fight, do not engage. That's the moment you open up to that, that's the not only are you opening the door for the vampire to grab your energy, but it also to drain you. It drains your energy, and so what do you do for that? You either do not engage with the person if you know who it is and it's this specific thing. Somebody egging you on, but there are other people that come into your space and they do want just to hook up to you and drain you. And I know them because I have run against several of them, and they do grab you and then physically grab you and supposedly on a nice embrace, and then they suck you dry. But there's two different kinds, and how do you protect yourself? The one that is egging you on so they can feed off the chemical energy. First, the chemical energy that you're radiating, the anger, for example, in a fight, you have these people that they want that adrenaline rush, but they're also at the same time they open you up so they can have some of that chi energy. So in order for you to stop the first one, the one that is egging you on, is not to engage, no response, like I'm not playing. And the second one, the one that is actually out to get you, you are going to have to do, are you familiar with the violet fire?
No.
A very quick study here, because I don't have that much time, but it goes like this. You find the field, you're going to be in meditation and you're going to get into a field of purple light, violet light. You're gonna sit there. It's a circumference of about 6 feet. Surrounding that is another color, and that's now you're asking Archangel Michael, and that's the blue light all the way around that circle. And when I say a circle, it's more like a cylinder, and it goes all the way up to the stratosphere. From the ground to the stratosphere, it goes underneath to the center of the earth and to all the way to the stratosphere of the planet. In that, and then you're gonna say this, the person that is the entity that is in charge of the violet fire is Saint Germain. So you're gonna say this phrase: I'm a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I'm a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. Do that about 9 times while you are in that circle. And when you feel threatened by anybody, just bring that circle to mind and say this, you know, you don't have to continuously be on meditation, but when you feel threatened with someone, put that field around you and declare mentally, I'm a being of violet fire.
Okay.
I am the unity, I am the purity God desires. And that is because you're asking Archangel Michael not to allow that. Because they can even go through you, they have to go through Archangel Michael. And, you know, Archangel Michael has the sword of truth, and he's not going to allow anything to get through. And then the violet fire is the Holy Spirit. So you don't want to mess with any of that. And that should cover you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So anyway, let's go ahead and do a 5-minute meditation because we don't have time. We used all our time because of the technical problems. Please sit down and put your hands on your chest. I want you to remember that your heart expands used by you putting your hands on your heart. According to the Heart Math Institute, our heart expands 27 feet all the way around us, or 9 meters. So I want you to feel your energy in your body, allowing peace, allowing harmony, allowing joy. We are the spirit of love. We are one spirit, one power. We are the light workers. We work individually and we work in harmony with each other. We share our energies freely and we augment our energies. We don't diminish, we don't steal. We add, we share. We are that love that we seek. We are that spirit divine. I want you to know that you are safe. You are safety. You are the spirit of peace, of abundance and joy. You are cherished and wanted by this universe, by this earth. Your light is needed. And I want you to feel your heart through your hands. And I want you to send energy from your heart to your hands. I want you to feel love. And I want you to extend your hands towards your screen and send light to all of us. And all of us are sending light to every one of us. Know that you're safe. And if you need a healing, we are sending a light of healing right now. A line of strength and peace, of wholeness and beauty. And now I want you to imagine the earth in front of both your hands. the entire earth in between your hands now. And I want you to feel and to send love to the planet, to all of the animals, to all of the people, to all the marine animals and Middle Earth animals and the earth animals, to all the birds, all the things in the sky, to all the vegetation, to all the trees, to all the bodies of water, to all the environment on the earth, to the air, with the intention of purifying, with the intention of making whole, focusing our energies on healing the earth and healing the animals and the environment. And I want you to bring your hands back up to your chest now. And I want you to send energy from the earth back to you, from Gaia back into you. Because as Mother Earth gives and receives, and as it received is now giving, I want you to feel, I want you to have the intention of feeling that energy. It is there if you want it. And I want you to expand it to your family, all of your family. And I want you to expand it to all of your loving beings that have crossed over, including pets. And I want you to send it back to you, back to you, back to all your happy selves, back to all of you. In the name of the Christ, I decree and I declare perfect health, harmony, abundance, and love. And so it is. Namaste. Everybody,
Namaste, Auntie.
namaste. I think I did it. Oh, I went 1 minute over. I think we'll survive. Anyhow, thank you. I enjoyed the session. I hope you did too. Anybody has any comments or anything to ask? We usually stay another 15 minutes. That is up to you.
Namaste, Angie. I really appreciate what you have done. Very, very informative, very beautiful meditation. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you for attending. And I'm sorry that I missed Marta, and I have some good news. What Penny already gave hers, that she no MS, and I also have good news from Charlotte, who's also, her test came back negative. So good news on that end too. Pretty strong thing. So everybody had a good time. So they're still, both of them are still having to having things to do, but they are, is in comparison to what they were fearing, everybody's doing much better. So,